Hello, this is B. Welcome to my end of the year Techo Kaigi for 2023, as well as my planner lineup for 2024. Okay, so let's start with my Techo Kaigi for 2023. So here are the two planners that I've been using for 2023. It's almost the end of the year, and I'm happy to report that I'm in love with these planners. I really enjoy working on them. They have been helping me throughout the year. So I have here a Mossery planner and a Hobonichi Weeks planner, both dated for 2023. I've been using Mossery planners for the last 3 years for my creative planning, and these Hobonichi Weeks as my personal health and life planner, as well as some memory keeping. Before I show you some of the pages or spreads that I like the most for this year on each of these planners, I also want to show you a couple of the planners that I've been using this year. This is my work planner, which is a Midori MD Notebook Diary. It's a B6 Slim. And I've been loving this planner. It just has a calendar as well as pages that I can use to take notes and also track some of my projects. And this is a traveler's notebook cover with an undated planner refill, a vertical layout, and I've been using these to track activities and events and schoolwork for my little one. By the way, I love this charm, isn't it cute? And yes, I use this pencil all the time, so I just keep it there. Before going over each of these planners, I want to show you a little bit of a background of what led me to use these specific planners. Here they are. So these are my Midori planners for 2021 and 2022. For 2021, I actually had this cover here, this gorgeous cover, and at that time I didn't know that you could actually how can I say this, reuse the covers and use any sketchbook of that size. But yes, I even decorated these for that year. So this was my cover, and since, let me show you, it actually got very chunky, as you can see here, but it kind of wrinkled the cover here, so which is why I switched it to something more flat to avoid getting it too warped. But I really love this cover. This is actually, I think, my very first official adulting planner. At that time, I wanted to capture happenings in my life, not just planning, but kind of like a journal memory keeper, as well as things that were happening. So I wanted to capture that in an analog way, and I cannot recall right now why I picked this planner, this Mossery planner, as my very first planner and journal, but here it is. So let me just show you some of my favorite spreads right here. At that time, I wanted to play with and use some of my stationery as well as art supplies. For example, here I use I think it was a notepad, and then I painted the background with wash. Here's another cute spread, and you're gonna see there's a lot of BTS. These are, by the way, B221 characters created by BTS, a group from South Korea, my favorite group in the world. So and at that time, I think I was also I had a shop where I did a lot of print tests. So this was a print test for a postcard, or a print that art print that I did for my shop. And by the way, there is like a lot of hidden journaling behind this. So And here's a spread where you can see that I barely filled in. I tried my best, but I think this was the first time that I work on a habit tracker. But as you can see here, I wasn't that successful. However, I do like the idea, and even though I didn't use these at this time, spoiler alert, I did get to use that this year. Here is another sample of how I left the page blank. I think this is one of my favorite calendar spreads for this year's planner. Another time I didn't mind covering planning entries. Here I was practicing some Hangul writing, most likely lyrics, because I think I was translating lyrics at that time. And I was using stickers to create, let's say the sticker is just this section, so I will complete, let's say, this full house over here, same thing over here. I think it was just doors. Yeah, same thing here. I think I'm spending too much time on this, but let me just quickly show you some of my favorite spreads. Here's one dedicated to BTS, and there's also like hidden door over here. Same thing here, there is like some writing done there. I think at the time I was writing a lot, but I myself didn't want to see what I wrote, so on top of that I was covering with pretty collages and other and stickers and paper and things like that. Here's another calendar spread. Also, I didn't mind covering the whole page if I felt that inspired to draw or paint something. This is like a sticker collage type of thing, celebrating an event, two events I remember. And this is another spread. I really like this one because I use different magazine pages. Let me go quickly. Let me move along. This is more BTS related content. I think this was inspired by Butter. This one inspired by Bicycle. Also this, for example, is a spread using some artwork by my little one. And over here, most likely there is something here hidden. What else? This is another calendar spread. I think I use ink for here, I don't remember. But oh yeah, this is like the permission to dance video. I don't know why this reminds me of my universe though. Oh, this is some of their lives. Like I use like my mini photo printer. I forgot the brand. I also used to play a lot of Pokemon. Also there is like some hidden messaging over there, I think. And then from around August, I guess I switched to a simpler way of journaling. I think this is the time when I saw that maybe this was not really planning. It was more like a scrapbooking, and at that time I guess I wanted to simplify things, and I started doing some of these type of entries. Here's more spreads. This is Namjoon's birthday. This was so funny. I think we're almost done here. So also whatever it's behind here, like I picked stickers and layout motifs that kind of match what I was feeling at the time. So or maybe I was inspired by some BTS lyrics, because now I can see over here like these swan feathers type of thing. Let's keep going. So here is kind of like I wanted to see if I could actually switch to something more simplified, and I think at that time I was also trying to create more content on my YouTube channel or even Instagram, or maybe it was for my shop, I don't remember. But yes, so here are these were some of the mostly journal, I guess, more journaling than planning, but at the end I really wanted to start using this Mossery as an actual planner. So for this year I actually did very minimal decorating, however very meaningful, because I think at that time I think I was already back from my trip to Los Angeles. So I went to LACMA and I got this sticker from one of my favorite artists, Yoshitomo Nara. He had there was an exhibition there, a lovely exhibition. It was amazing. So I wanted to capture that moment here. And then here this is my second try of habit tracking, and you know, there is more tracking over there. I also try to do the recap over here and the highlights. It's nice to see actually the contrast, you know, like kind of like the before and after. Very minimal over here and focus, I will say. And I actually like this at that time. I remember I like the combination of the pencil with this yellow highlighter and this very simple sketch. Same thing here. You will see this is what I wanted to see and what I was envisioning at the end of 2021 for 2022. And this is very much planning and tracking work. My creative work for right here. Keep on swimming. There were days that I wasn't tracking much. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you this because I also tracked like I think what this was for all the October art challenges. So I was participating on those. Also November was very busy for challenges. I love the end of the year. There is like a lot of, at least the ones that I know of, a lot of art challenges. And this is also my spread, very busy spread for December, mostly art challenges. And that's all. So for 2023, this is the cover that I picked. By the way, something that I really love about Mossery is that they support artwork and artists. So each of the covers, I think 99% of the covers that they have are done by independent artists, small artists and businesses. So every year I look forward to see new designs and also support each of these artists. Right here I did somewhat of a minimal decoration, but here for example I got this notepad, I think for Christmas, so I used it based I switched it based on the weather or the season. By the way, this reminds me that we are back to winter time, so I'll do that over here. Over here I have my family photos. I also keep here some stickers and stationery. Oh, here, by the way, it's my word of the year, or my phrase of the year, no regrets. This planner, Mossery for this year, Mossery for 2023 changed their layout, and I was thinking of making or working on a video to compare the different layouts, but I didn't get a chance. But for example, they didn't have the tracker and like the year highlight and recap pages, so it went straight to the month. So for example, this is a spread of a month, and as you can see here, I kept the same kind of like same look and feel, kept, you know, using pencil. I love using pencil on this paper. It also lets me erase when needed. I also use these stickers. They are also from Mossery. I have them here on these cute folders. So as you can see here, these are their stickers. And this is very, I guess, planner focused. Instead of mixing creative planning or content planning with my life events or memory keeping or art journaling or anything that you saw on the first iteration of my Mossery planner journal. This was very much focused on creative projects as well as content creation and planning for my channel, my YouTube channel specifically. Also for Instagram, and yeah, mostly YouTube and Instagram. Right here, oh, these stickers help me a lot as well. These are from a shop that sells Korean stationery, and this brand is Paperian, and I love these stickers, and I actually found them when I went to Korea, so I got a bunch of those as well. But you can also find it at Mochi Things, which is the shop that sells these, or at least one of the shops that sells these stickers, or I will say little notepads, mini notepads. So here, for example, the rectangular ones are for videos on YouTube, and the other two shapes are for reels or shorts. Oh yes, was also the first time that I used the Mossery month tabs over here, which I think I'm debating into using them for next year. I'm not sure, because as you can see here, I don't know, they're very flimsy, because they are kind of like a paper sticker, so we'll see. Here's another spread. Sometimes I will add live events, because I cannot just that's something that just happened, so yeah. And then here is another one. So here's an example of the before and after, or like how it started and how it's going. So for example, here I haven't been able to feel to follow through my habits, and however, I do have my to-dos and some notes, and also my spending. This is the overall layout that I had throughout the year, but this is basically how it started. As you can see here, I was actually tracking my habits, and I even made notes. Wow. Here I did a test of the pencil that I will use, which is this one right here, which is, I think, is a 5mm. And then I also use a Tombow marker for that, for 91. So this is my 2023 Mossery planner, which I've been enjoying. I love the paper. I love how it looks like. I like the overall setup that I have here. And for 2024, let me show you the planner. So here it is. It's very similar. Like last year, I just kept my initial right there in silver. And like I mentioned before, there are some changes, not radical, but for example, the color of the lines. Let me just show you that. For example, the color, even the color of the paper. The color of the paper is actually creamy, a bit creamy over here. I thought it was like white, like this, as you can see here, but it's not. It's actually off-white, and this is actually closer to, well, not even, but definitely in comparison, this is a more cool tone white paper. And maybe because of that reason, the lines are also cool tone. This green line, as well as the red details here, the lettering right there, is definitely cooler in comparison to this. Also, something that I noticed are this section here. This was a dotted paper. This one is the same dotted paper, however, now it has like these little squarey circles right here, which I don't know. I really like to have this area blank so that I can just have this setup, as you can see here. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being picky. But the rest is basically the same for this layout, at least. They also have a horizontal layout. I love the vertical layout. The previous two planners before this one were horizontal. Another difference is this spread here. These 2 pages, the review and the plan are back. Before, they didn't have that. You went straight to, for example, this was the end of the month, and then you will go straight to the calendar spread. Another thing that has changed, they added this section. Before, they didn't have that. They also added these 2 pages, which were, by the way, they were part of the original setup that they had, at least on 2021. Same thing here. They didn't have that last year, but now it came back. So last year, all of this basically wasn't there. It went straight to this year at a glance. This is definitely new. I'm still thinking on how am I gonna use that. And something that I was really sad was just because it took me 2 years to get used to the layout and be happy with my planning system. These are now the habit trackers. And as you remember here, for example, last year you will have your habit trackers with your to-do and notes section right here. Before that, it will be the month, your habit for the month, and your to-dos for the month and notes for the month, and then straight to your weekly setup. Now the habits are all together in one section in the beginning, and I don't know how to feel about that. So something to get used to. Again, I haven't gotten the time to digest this after I did my unboxing, so this is something that I have to really come back to during my winter break. But other than that, I basically have everything else in mind, or like I have an idea what to do, which is basically what you saw here on this planner for the weekly and the monthly layouts. And now, before I go over my 2023 setup for the year and my 2024 selection, I want to show you how I happened to get to this. In terms of using a Hobonichi planner, I love going over my planners and journals, not just at the end of the year, but sometimes when I have like there is a time when, I don't know, you just feel maybe nostalgic and you just want to go through your sketchbooks, you know, of work that you did years ago or recently. And the same thing happens to me now that I use planners and journals. I sometimes just sit down and I go over what I did previously. But yes, so how I came to Hobonichi. I follow a couple of creators on YouTube that use, actually they're still using Hobonichi planners, and they use them as planners and journals. So because of them, I got inspired to get these Hobonichi. So I got these back on 2021, almost at the end of the year, when my friend here, remember him? So around the end of the year, that's when I think I wanted to try a Hobonichi because of the paper. I think I was seeing that I wanted to do more collaging and more journaling here, and I wanted to try a new paper. So so I got these little tiny Hobonichi, which I decorated. At that time, it didn't have this cover. I've changed covers at least, I don't know, 3 times, if not more. So, but yeah, this is the recent cover that this one has. And then you may have seen this before if you've seen previous Techo Kaigis or planner lineups, but just in case you haven't, so this is how I set up this beauty. It's so adorable, it's so tiny. I just love this size. I also like, aside from the paper, because I'm very I love paper, and there is another YouTuber that I just watched one of her videos where she mentions that her name comes from her love from paper, Joy PH. I love her channel, and my setup for my weeks actually was inspired by one of the setups that she has. She has multiple ones, and yes, so I also love paper, and I like trying paper for my artwork as well as now for planning and journaling. So yes, so I want to try the paper, and then I just fell in love with this little Hobonichi. I did a lot of customization, as you can see. Oh, let me just show you the whole spread right there. I also had to add this cover because it was all breaking. The glue wasn't strong, I guess. So let me show you first how I started. So it all started in October. So I used a sticker that I did on my shop at the time. And then here's one of the spreads. Again, at that time I was journaling about and capturing moments related to BTS. I think this was based on the, oh yeah, we went to, is this when we went to California to watch their shows? Yeah, so this was actually in Seoul. This was a live recording or a live stream. When I saw this last night, I didn't remember that I actually did all of this. It kind of made me miss all of these moments that I had while journaling on this little Hobonichi. And at that time, I really just went for it. I didn't care, you know, how it looked. I didn't care that it all looked cohesive. I just went for it. But yes, I capture moments like this is from at the time we got a new tree, so this was one of the leaves that we got from it. And here I made a record of a notebook from Midori that I got. Another spread. And here. So after getting these, I really like the whole experience. I really love the paper. Since I use these starting from October, let me just show you what I did on the blank pages. Ooh. I also did some art workshops where we were given prompts and then we will draw or sketch, or I will just work on a quick doodle and try new art supplies and drawing from still life. Also, I will try new art supplies here and swatch and do and mix colors. Oh yes, and also I would a sketch. I think I have a sketch for this. Yes, I have the sketch for this here. For example, this was the first idea, and then I did the illustration for that. And here, before doing the final sketch, I will try to see what colors I will use. So this was the first time that I used a Hobonichi, and I really loved the experience, which led me to, for the next year, for 2022, I got their 3 sizes, which is the same size as this one, but in this case was the Avec. And although I like the experience that I had here, I think I was just being too precious when I actually started this planner. I wanted to use this mostly for memory keeping, as you can see here, and I wanted to capture moments in my life using my style of illustration, as you can see here. However, I wasn't able to keep up, but I did use this sketch later on for other projects and just whenever I wanted to sketch something similar to what I did here. I also tried for the first time a Wix, and in this case I tried a Mega. I really love this size and also this format. As you can see here, I decorated it right there. And at the time, at the end of 2021, I was having a very rough time health-wise. So the reason why I got these wigs was with the intent of having this as a health journal. So this is how I decorated it. And just to keep track of things that I need to keep track health-wise, as well as live events. So as you can see, there's a lot of trackers, and most of it is just to keep track of my health. I also had a daily check-in, as well as other information that at that time was important to keep track of in terms of my health, right there. And then I also got, because I was very curious and I wanted to see how this size work. This is the Hobonichi Cousin. Also, the cover that I originally had was totally different from this one. I don't remember anymore, but this is the latest cover that I have for this Hobonichi Cousin. I also decorated it recently. And here's an example of my calendar spread. At that time, I remember with this experience, I really felt bad about my notebook, my planner right here. So I wanted to make sure that I got stickers that were pretty much really flat. And these are transfer stickers, I think they're called. So they're not regular stickers because I wanted to keep the bulkiness to a minimum. I also started using my ink fountain pens, and I was having a rough time, as you can see here. But overall, I really like the weight, the feel, the paper, the setup, the layout, everything about this planner. However, I wasn't able to keep up as I did for my weeks or even this other little Hobonichi. Here's another spread. I had so much fun with this layout. While using this Hobonichi planner made me realize that I actually love this layout, which made me realize that, for example, that same year I was using this planner, which had the horizontal layout. So right at that moment, I decided to, for the following year, get a Mossery with a vertical layout. So even though I didn't get to use this Hobonichi fully, it did let me to find and realize things that I didn't know at that time, which were very key in my journal and planning journey. I really like this paper. I love the feel when you write on it. It's such a different feel that I get with other notebooks. I also like writing with fountain pen ink. However, it took too long to dry, so that was maybe the reason why I stopped using this planner book. However, I'm keeping these to write any feels that I need to write and use it as a diary when needed. Okay, so these are all my Hobonichi planners and journals. And now let's go over my 2023 Hobonichi weeks. This was my everything planner as well as memory keeping. And as you can see here, my main motivator here, or my inspiration, was music. Like the previous year, I kept tracking my steps as well as some key health things that I need to keep track of. Same thing here. By the way, this is basically my heart rate. I also track my sleep and my steps, like I mentioned before, and I keep these stars here to show my doctor when I have my medical check. Here's a spread. This year I didn't have as many doctor related planning or journaling, so it was a mix of things. Right here, for 2023, things improve health wise in comparison to the end of 2021 and the early months of, or the first half of 2022. So, which I was very happy, you know. I was mostly focused, you know, like how I was feeling, things that were happening around me. There is a lot of, for example, this section. Let me actually show you the layout of my weekly entries. For example, here's for appointments or happenings, And here I include events or things that I want to remember, or symptoms that I have or how I'm feeling. Here I keep track of the weather, because I think weather definitely influences how I'm feeling physically, emotionally, and mentally. So I think that's very important. Here also have a to-do list, and then here sometimes when my to-do list is not that long, I have this free space which I dedicate for BTS lyrics. Sometimes I just leave it blank to fill out later. And sometimes my list is very long, or I track other things, like for example the K-dramas that I watch, things that I buy, things that I want to buy. All of these were notes that I took during my trip to South Korea, to Jeju, Seoul, and Busan. Here I made notes of, for example, Korean artists that I think that I read about on this beautiful library that they have in Seoul. And this is one of my latest entries. This is December. Here for notes, I was thinking of filling all of these out. However, I found out but later on I decided not to, because things were changing here. So I just left it at I just kept the first section, which is Song of the Day, which I'll show you in a little bit. So this is Song of the Day divided by month, and every day I track the very first song that comes into my mind, and I just want to listen. Otherwise I cannot go on my day. It's like coffee, you know, like you have to have coffee the very first thing of the day. I have to have a song, so I track down the first song of the day. This is December. As you can see here, I try to keep the same decoration in terms of a sticker. I kept it very minimal, so it was basically the same set of stickers with the same marker as well as the same pen. Let me show you what I use for this planner. So I use these uni ball pens from Hobonichi from previous years. I also have the other one. They are everywhere on my bags, on my, like around my house, my studio. So I use these. I also use these markers. This is a Tombow marker dual brush. I usually use the brush more than anything. And I also have this Seek Clean Dollar color dot right there. I tried using this fountain pen with one of my favorite inks, which is this Sailor Amamoyoi ink. I love this one. However, it's very tricky. I had to try multiple fountain pens to see which one looks best on this paper, because that also changes. As if you're a fountain pen ink user, you will know that things look different depending on the combination of ink, pen, and paper. But yes, so yeah, this is the one that I tried, and I'm still debating if I'm gonna keep using these or try to use a fountain pen and ink for 2024. But moving along, what was I saying? So yeah, that's my song of the day. I also have here, this is something that I filled out recently, which is my 2023 Spotify Wrapped, which has my top artists and my top songs. What else we have here? Oh yes, you may have seen this as well. For 2024, these are the covers that I was thinking on getting. I got most of them. Also the Hobonichi wigs. Here's more. These are stickers that I printed on sticker paper, and I just use that here to visualize things better. Oh yes, here it's something that I did to help me plan my trip to South Korea, like places that I wanted to visit in Seoul and Busan, as well as Jeju Island. Here is, oh yeah, here's where I did my pen test. As you can see here, I had to pick the best combination, which was between the Safari Lamy Extra Fine Matte Charcoal, which is this one, and I also like this one, Lamy Safari Extra Fine. Is it the same? I think it's the same, but you see how they look even different at different times. Oh no, actually this one was done with my dip pen. Never mind. Oh yes, something that I want to do right now, and something that I didn't keep track as best as I should have, is my K-dramas. I watch so many K-dramas, so I need to dig in here and write down all that, at least my top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 K-dramas. Oh yes, talking about top anything, these are my top songs. So Spotify provides every year with your top songs playlist. So this is, and they give you 100 of your top songs, and you basically have 100 of your top songs of the year. So I use this spread for that. I also mark here on little stickers my top 5 artists of the year. And yes, so this is my 2023 planner, Hobonichi Weeks. Lastly, for 2024, this is the Hobonichi Weeks that I'll be using. This is actually a Hobonichi Mega. I haven't set it up yet because I will be doing that close to the end of year, when it's my winter break. So I have a lot of pages over here. I decided to use this one because it gives you around 217 pages. This year is going to be very similar to 2021 in terms of health tracking. I was going over my 2023 planner to see if I will make any adjustments. I was debating on maybe switching to a traveler's notebook to help track things better, which brings me to the things that I'm looking for or that I need to improve for 2024 in terms of planning. Something that I need is a better tracker for my K-dramas and movies. Right now, I noticed that my handwriting is so tiny, and I like to keep everything consistent. And it's really hard to keep track of things. So I really have to go and read everything to keep track of, for example, in this case, my K-dramas. So yeah, so I work on some ideas for not just that. I'll go over the other things that I need to go over. So last year and this year, I used the blank pages that I had on these Hobonichi Weeks to test pens, test pencils, test stencils, stickers, test different dot markers, as you can see here. I also did a little sampling of the Hobonichi stencils. I really don't want to get more stickers. I mean, if I have to, I will. However, I was thinking of maybe using their stencils to use them to help me keep track of things like a heart rate or exercise or diet, or things that I need to keep track on for 2024. My K-drama. So I also did a little sample page of for example, using dot markers with different colors, and using a fountain pen with one of my favorite inks. This is, I think, Robert Oster Cafe Crema, and I really love this layout. It will basically be the same thing that you saw here. Same stickers, most likely. I think I'm gonna use the same stickers. I really like these ones, and I have a long roll of them. So I may keep that, and I like to also keep things simple and not changing much. However, the change that I must have is to keep is to visualize, to help me track things better in a visual way. So I think these color dot markers will help me with that. Like you saw here, I was testing some of the inks that I inked on my fountain pens to see how they look. I also sampled some stamps that I have that I didn't use previously. So I love this little piggy with a $sign, maybe for pen tracking. Here is, let me just bring you closer. I'm considering switching to blue right there. This one was actually, let me just see. This is my pen and ink journal. Yeah, so this one, so for this I use a Ferris wheel press fountain pen, their carousel pen after hours. It had a fine nib, and it was using the color reverse ham glistening ink. I love that blue. It looks totally different than here. I like how it looks here. However, I don't have that ink. It's just a sample. So thankfully I have this Ferris wheel press full bottle, which is also a blue ink, one of my favorite ones. And I did a mini test right here. I haven't inked a pen with it yet. However, I did let me just show you. I quickly did a sample using this Kaweco collection pen, which I actually love this, like the weight and how it feels, also how it writes. So I dip the pen on that ink, and it actually looks amazing. It looks really close to, let me just do a sample. What can I say? Doctor appointment 3 p.m. right, which is very similar to this. However, I think the glitters are different. This one, after it dries, is basically the same color as this. I don't know if you saw that change. So so yes, I'm considering on using that, and they dry quite fast. Wow. Okay. So I'm considering on using that. However, if I take my journal on a broad trip or something, like I did for South Korea, I was debating on taking this fountain pen, but I didn't want to risk it, so I just took my Uniball pen. But yes, so I'm thinking about it. What else can I show you? So yes, so that's one of the things that I want to have a better way to track key things, not everything, just key things like K-dramas. no K-dramas, you know, like health and things that I need to quickly find. Another thing is I want to track my plants, not my plants. I know where they are. I don't need to track them, but I need to track their care, which is something that I try to do here. I created a layout on this Hobonichi, but it was too repetitive. I think I may just try it out, because you know sometimes things are repetitive. So this was my my house plants care tracker. So I had it by month with the names of each of them, and then when I water them, if I even had a little legend over here. So if they were repotted, or if it was time for them to be groomed or maintained. Also, they need sand baths, some of them, so I also track that. Sadly, I lost 6 of my plants this year, and I got new ones too. So I also I think I also need to track those, or I need to have a tracker for that. I have a note over here. What else? Something that I need to add for my 2024 planner is also an exercise, diet, and other health trackers that my doctors recommend or have recommended. Something that I was considering as well is having, even though I will keep everything here, because that's really important for me to see at a glance how I'm doing, what is going on, my lifestyle, things that I'm reading, things that I'm listening to, things that I'm watching, how I'm feeling during the day, the weather, everything. I think to me is important to keep track of. However, I do want to focus or have to give more focus on certain things, such as, for example, family. I want to keep track of family happenings, events, even little things. Like, for example, my son right now started to listen to songs from the 80s because of the games he plays. I don't know how that happened, but you know, something like that. Or things he does or things he says. That's something that I want to keep track of, and I haven't been able to because I was trying to keep everything in one place. And I think I need something more like this, for example. More like this. So I'm not sure if I will use a Hobonichi for that. I'm thinking of actually using a traveler's notebook refill for that, as well as for travel journaling, which I already started, and also for next year for BTS's chapter 2, and I want to have a dedicated journal for the work they have done for 2023, as well as any projects or events or anything that they may share during 2024, so in 2025 and onwards. Instead of having it in a dated planner, I want to have all of those separately that are not dated. They will have dates, but it wouldn't be in this format. So, but that's something totally different from these two planners, which are something that have been fundamental these last 3 years that they have been with me. This is something that I wanted to share with you. I'm really excited for 2024 and continuing working on these two planners, which I have loved so far. I'm so happy that I have developed a system that I'm comfortable with and that I will keep using on future years. Thank you so much if you joined me until the end of this video. Until the next one. Bye-bye.